Ian Harrison is merging streetwear, tech, and storytelling with SneakAR, or SneakAR, custom sneakers that unlock immersive experiences. He's a futurist on a mission to make footsteps unforgettable. This episode of the Rebel Rebel is brought to you by my book, Brand Jitsu. I've spent over 25 years in the trenches helping artists, entrepreneurs, and brands stop being ignored. I took everything I've learned, the wins, the hard lessons, the frameworks that actually work, and I put it into one book. It's called Brand Jitsu, Move Your Brand from Meh to Memorable, and it'll help you tell your story in a way that people actually remember. Get it at your favorite bookstore or visit brandjitsu.com. Well, welcome to the Rebel Rebel. I'm your host, Michael Dargie, and somewhere down south is Ian Harrison. Ian, how the hell are you?
I'm way down south, Michael.
so down,
I'm
down
great,
south.
Man. I'm so down south. Well, I'm in the deep south.
Where are you? Where are you right now? Come on.
It's great to catch up with you. I am in Rockwall, Texas. With if there's any conspiracy theorists out there listening, you know, there's some majestic elements of why this giant wall was built around our city, and then it's buried super far down. And they tried to claim it was some natural existence, yet it's perfectly structured and laced like bricks. And
what?
So
I did not know this. What the hell? Yes,
I am in the epicenter of some weirdness, and it suits me quite well.
Tracks.
Yeah, it tracks. Rockwall, Texas, where the aliens were.
I heard of Roswell, New Mexico. I've never heard of.
They're sister cities.
No shit.
No, not shit. Not really. I'm making that up.
All right,
just pulling your chain.
Yeah. Oh, as Texans do. All right. Well, so Ian, like, catch us up. What is it that you're up to right now? Like, give us the broad brushstrokes of life as Ian.
Okay, macro, micro. You say right now I could list 10 things, and you say right now globally I'll list 10 things. Are we talking like right now today, or right now in the last since I saw you in September?
Oh man. I don't know. What's Ian doing? Like when he wakes up and he's like, I can't wait to do this thing. What's that?
I am living my best stay SneakAR story, bro. Every day is eat, sleep, breathe, grow this brand. I think you saw where we were sort of pre-MEP, MVP being minimum enjoyable product. I think products should be enjoyable, not just viable. So I think you saw the sort of very beginning tasters. We were on test flight, I think, at that time when you and I ran into each other at the Badass Business Summit by Donnie Bovine. And from there we got our app live in November, and since then it's just been crazy, off to the races with trying to really drive awareness around it. Done some cool pop-up shoe events, like at conferences. Was a thing called SwapCon in December was neat. We did some custom flips where we spent the entirety of the day there. I think it's like 10 hours. This is just one example of like what I've been up to answer the question. We spent like 10 hours designing shoes on site at this swap conference, where it was a mix of new vendors and vendors with vintage gear, changing jackets and denims and buying caps and hats and all kinds of stuff and shoes. So we have our SneakAR table set up. And I guess, in a minute, I'll explain what SneakAR is. So people are like, what? We had our SneakAR booth set up, but I was doing custom flips on site. So I would have customers stop by, send me 3 or 4 colorways, some of their artifacts, images is what I mean by that. And then they walk around the event, come back a few hours later, they leave with the mock-up. 21 days later, they've got these custom shoes. So like, that's really been the funnest, getting out there and socially proving our brand. You ask, what am I up to these days? Let's rewind. So I'm Ian Harrison, guys. Nice to meet everybody out there. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I don't really know when to stop. I don't really have an off switch. I sleep 5 hours a night, and the rest is just grind and hustle and innovate. So, lean in, show up, do work, repeat till we die in this skin suit. I think we get, one time as us, no matter what we are religiously, like no matter what we think of the afterlife to be. We have one round, you as Michael Dargie, me as Ian Harrison, the world out as who you are. So, all we have is what we leave behind, bro. So I'm just grinding until I'm dust. So because of that, I am working on this particular zone right now is this product called SneakAR.io. And we are at the epicenter of custom footwear and XR, AR immersive journey telling. So we bring immersive commerce to the like door and the toes of fashion through shoes. What I mean by that is not to at all pitch. So I'll just be very quick. We have like
Do you say alt pitch?
No, not to at all pitch. I'm not trying to pitch in this podcast. I'm just trying to maybe
pitch like hell, but like let's keep the story going. You know what I mean?
No one likes a pitch. So we have this super cool tech stack combined with the ability to create low barrier of entry custom footwear. So I've been in the front end of merchandising and fan engagement for the last 2 decades as a touring musician. So as part of my kind of serial entrepreneurship, I've been building a self-brand as Munster, which is my performance entity on stage, in hip hop and beyond music. Munster. Munster has always sort of been my artist entity. Yep. And then the bigger brand behind it is Munster Vision, which has turned into my creative as a service agency, where I act as a creative arm to C-level stakeholders, product owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, brands, creative departments for some fractionalized period of time. I basically act as a full stack creative arm to deliver some form of content or copy or messaging, whether I'm creating visual design work or copy itself or the actual messaging, or I'm working with my plethora of network, my Rolodex, if you will, of kind of creatives that we can fulfill everything from modeling to tangibles to animation to web development, you name it. So there's like kind of the Munster Vision creative as a service culmination thing, but through it, what I have really honed in on is Web3 brand market fit, product market fit, content market fit. What do I mean by that? The fuck does Web3 mean, right? So it's just people first, community driven, impact oriented, making sure that you understand as a brand, your algorithm is what matters and the algorithm is your people and your super fans, your brand loyalists that need you to solve a problem for them are your biggest advocates. And so understanding to lean into what the empowered customer needs, the empowered client, the empowered person, is a lot of what it means to be people first and to develop an archaic thing and bring it into a digitally transformed model, chasm crossing into these moments is what we do at Munster Vision. And so as a byproduct of that, sort of like, well, put your mouth where your money is develop my own brand. Like, how can I show a better social proof than to take a concept from nothing and build a Web3 brand around it? And so that's really what we've done with SneakAR. Going back to the core of what it is, again, it's a low barrier of entry custom footwear company, but we built an entire immersive XR, AR, geospatial tech stack connected to the product. And so what that means for
it is just hang tight for 1 sec. That was a whole lot of words.
Okay.
So it's shoes that are somehow connected to augmented reality.
Yes.
Extended reality.
Yes.
Okay. So I have some sneaker. I don't even know what they call themselves.
Sneakerheads?
Yeah, I guess sneakerheads. Yeah, people that like have walls of shoes.
Oh yeah, those are the diehards. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's that plus.
It's that plus. Yeah. So you've got cool shoes that are like, hey, those are cool shoes, but wait, there's more.
Now, how much will you pay? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
Sure, that's a factor of it, but it's more like at the sneakerhead level, it's honestly like getting a pair of SneakARs is just to go flex on all your homies. Like, yo, you got those Jordans, that's cool. Oh, you got those Adidas, you got those Yeezys, whatever. Yeah, but do your shoes do stuff?
Like what?
The opening of what does that mean, right? Exactly. So first and foremost, I mean, you're using just the ARXR tech stack, both in app and on the website, which is, clarify, the app is live on the app stores. Everybody can go out and get the SneakAR app, and you can use it on any of our tokenized images to drive an experience.
We will put links in the show notes.
Sweet. Okay, well, cool. So yeah, anybody and anyone that wants to experience the app side of it, absolutely suggest you guys going out there and doing it. again, it's sort of in our MEP MVP stage, our V1 version of what the app experience is. And I'll take you through it. The user journey is you get the app, you open it. It's going to take you through 3 or 4 infographics about looking at the icon on the shoe, whether it's on the tongue or the side of your silhouette, and then aiming your camera at that and then sitting back and being mind blown. And then it takes you into the camera zone itself. And you're then now in an active AR XR experience environment where anything that's on our back end, like, hosted on a node, is then active and will be triggered in a kind of first come, first serve basis. So you could have 10 pairs of SneakARs kind of show a 1 after 2, 3, 4, etc. experience array if you wanted, bringing it back into something more contextual. So like imagine,
dumb this down for me. I'm wearing shoes. I got a phone. Do I need meta glasses?
This hot air balloon that I'm inflating with all of these words. Okay, so you've got a shoe, you've got a phone, and on that shoe, you're gonna, let's say it's a standard SneakAR shoe, and you've got the logo of the SneakAR on the tongue. Yeah. So with your phone, you would then aim the app, and soon to be just your camera from our website, which is, I'll get to that. So you take the app and you aim it at the shoe, and that's going to drive an experience. It could be a 3D character popping off the shoe, doing a dance, high-fiving you, and then it pops back in, all the way to very delivered branded content where it's the MP4 video, a menu of information, a menu of services, content that a brand would think would be ideally delivered in the manner that everyone is taking in context in anyways, which is their phone, right? So taking it in on the phone and having that experience like extend beyond the single serving moment is sort of the brand aha. But to you, the sneakerhead we're talking about, now you've got a shoe that you can go and be anywhere in the world with and have it do an experience off of. And as we move, well, I'll stop. But does that make sense? Like, does that explain it? I think I should explain more before I say.
No. So I guess my curiosity lies in, like, I've so many questions popped off in my head as you're explaining this thing. And
love it.
Number one is, and again, I love to dumb shit down because I'm dumb. I got to take a minute to be like, so I'm wearing a shoe and I can have an experience with my phone, or I'm going to suggest take this or leave it. The Meta glasses that are the Ray-Bans, right? Plug for Ray-Ban. But yes, like that to me is an AR experience that I think would be cool, that you can now feed in. If you're wearing these things, they're now connected to stuff, and you could do a whole lot of
absolutely
interesting shit with where you walk and where you are, and like how connected are these shoes, I guess, is a big question.
That's a great question. And I love that you just brought up like the Meta glasses experience, for example. So let's jump from MEP to sort of product market fit and what that journey is going to look like and where we're at. So you bring up a very valid point of like, well, what if I don't have my phone out and I've got these Meta glasses on? I still want to have that experience. So the value add there is that we're in the process of adding native web AR functionality to our site. So you'll go to our site, whether you're on your phone, on your computer, on your Meta glasses, and you'll engage with the View AR Experience tab, and that will bring you into that active environment. So anything that has a camera, like these Meta glasses, for example, would then be able to target and track the AR experience using the native web AR built into the camera structure. So that is exactly where we're headed with it. And from a brand standpoint, which, I think you might understand this journey, the idea is frictionless engagement, right? And so when we had been talking to brands initially, before we had explored working in the native web AR, they love it, but they're like, so wait, our potential customers or our intentional buyers, we're going to ask them to go get yet one more thing before they can have this experience. And I was, at first kind of taken aback by that like objection, but it made sense to me, right? And so then we realized, okay, so let's turn this into an opportunity. So let's work in a way to do native teaser experiences, native AR, web AR experiences, which is, could be a video, like I'm saying, all the way to like a GLTF, GLB, 3D file. But what it won't be is dynamic. So you won't engage with it. You won't play a game with this thing from the teaser experience. What you will get is this AR experience right from your phone, right off of our website, with the intent being that there is further experience to be had by getting the app and being a consumer of the extended reality experiences, from geospatial gaming to geolocated events to now where you're asking how connected is this shoe. So now this shoe is directly connected to whatever that branded experience is to be. So we open up the doors to games, you open up the doors to community builds, you open up the door to SocialFi, because now where your SneakAR is in the world and what you're capturing in your SneakAR is helping drive that brand content.
I have questions.
Yep.
So many questions. Is this so I shoot a picture of my shoe and that's now on my phone and that is what drives it, or is there tech in the shoe that is connected to the planet?
So the tech is actually on a server on the back end. So the tech exists in the web, in the world. Yeah. And what the shoe to the phone is creating is this walking billboard effect. And that's the phone tracking the shoe, which is where the image is driving the effect, which is housed on a server, right? So it's bringing in, it's the trigger.
Can I then shoot somebody else's shoe and experience jack them?
If they have a SneakAR on,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, you would be able, that's going back to that kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And then taking that one step further, once we get to product market fit, it'll be a dashboard environment where the user, you, is picking out your favorite brand. You're throwing on that shoe for that brand for the day. And there could be 10 different experiences you could have off of that brand, right? It could be a game, could be a commercial, could be a concert you're going to, and this is your access to backstage. So now the shoe becomes the token.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because and who owns, who has the starting place in the chain of the token? The person who buys the shoe, they shoot it first, and then everybody else can be tokenized after that, I would imagine.
Yeah. So once it's active, and the other people with the SneakAR app or on the SneakAR side that are looking at that person's shoe, they're granting them access. So I guess what I meant by token gated is actually truly tokenized. So part of building a Web3 brand is being Web3 fit. And what I mean by that is, I think, being blockchain ready. Yeah. So every consumer and SneakAR pair, not necessarily at the brand level, but at the B2C level, everybody that's buying a pair of SneakARs from us is getting onboarded frictionlessly into Web3. And what I mean by that is we've created what we call our Culture Crew Hub. Yeah. So any true buyer of a SneakAR is going to get an email. Hey, Mike, you did it. Good job. You got your SneakARs. These are authentic. Well, how do I know they're authentic? Here's our token of authenticity in the form of a culture coin. So what the heck's a culture coin, right? Interesting. What is a token? What does it mean for token of authenticity? I think it's very overwhelming to try to cram that information down people's brains. Don't either care or aren't aware of it, or it's not invested enough for them.
Here's my super quick takeaway before I dive left, and that is there's so much generic shit in the world that we just sort of get spoon fed along the way, and I can totally see where having unique, authentic experiences is the future.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, where I can be like, okay,
100%.
Yeah. And that's right. I think blockchain has it right, but I don't think has been communicated properly to people who are just like, does this matter? It does. It really does.
Yeah, well, it's not about does it matter. It's sort of a get right or get left practice. It's headed to a direction where it's unavoidable. So as much as we can do impact work to help bring the people on board without them feeling overwhelmed by it, then we're doing global work, right? And that's kind of all we have is what we leave behind aspect, and the we over me mentality of being a people first brand. It's not about SneakAR advancing our impact. I mean, sure, we want to grow our brand and drive market share, blah, 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 but it's about journey telling, and not storytelling, but journey telling through footwear, using shoes to help connect the paths that we're all on. We're all going somewhere, right? So we journey tell with these things.
For the most part, and this is not a I don't know, it's a bit of a weird side, but that's what we have, is that connection to the earth, whether it's through your foot, whether it's through a wheelchair, whether it's through a walker, whether it's whatever that happens to be. That is our direct connection to this freaking frail planet that we're on. And
Absolutely.
every step we take matters. That's kind of cool. That's a rallying cry. So my left turn then, Ian, is, what the hell made you this way? Like, why do you care so much about this?
I think I've always been like people first. So like, people, process, product, connecting them, creating the unison of those things. All right, let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Going way back.
Are you like 8 years old and you're just like, I want to change the world, and I'm going to be a rocket ship scientist?
Yeah, like I don't think I stated it. I think I just knew I wanted to do it. So I think I've always been a button pusher, both figuratively and literally. Like I think I'm born rebel.
I've met you. Thank you. I've met you in person, and I know this to be true.
Okay, well there you go. But I mean, it's a badge of honor, dude. That is no schmirking it. So probably where and when I was born and raised, and the type of environment I was allowed to thrive in, likely made me this way. To answer your question, like social science wise. So let's go back to the beginning. I'm 80s baby, 90s kid. So born and raised in Austin, Texas, before Austin is like Austin now.
Superstar.
So it's just like the sleeper college town. It's, yes, the capital of Texas, but trumped and dwarfed by San Antonio and sports teams, Houston and theme parks and sports teams, Dallas. So, growing up, Austin was just sort of this it was kind of an understatement that, like, I think people grumbled to have to go to get legislature done. And it was sort of just an undertone. But it allowed for this great hodgepodge and like amalgam of all sorts of cultures and people. And, I think it's naive to say that I was colorblind, but it is safe to say that I certainly was raised around a diverse group of people and backgrounds, and everything in between that comes from that culturally, and that drives cohesion culturally. And so, go ahead.
Do you think? And I'm just thinking, because Austin is like South by Southwest, right? Like
it is.
Yeah. And do you think that is that sort of, I don't know, world globalization, world vision?
I'm going where you're going with this. So yes, but like also understand that like South by Southwest, also when I was in middle school, high school, was like back alley clubs all over the city that were just participating in this nexus, trying to form into what now you see as this giant, tech, film, music festival that's globally connected and drives immense brand impact. But it, like SneakAR, like RebelRebel, like brand jujitsu, like all of these things start somewhere and have to grow, right? And so, yes, much like South by Southwest, Austin had to grow, and it was this, like, because of it, it was very nurturing growing up there when I did, and everybody kind of knew everybody. You always would know someone from someone, and they went to different schools, but it didn't matter. So, punk rock, hip hop, rebellion, skateboarding, breaking shit and fixing it, build, destroy, build mentality, build, destroy, build focus, but always like being a button pusher in the best way. And I love synthesizers and pianos, playing music. So I think creation, it's huge for me. Now, it's also important to know that my parents, for as rigid as they were at times and as disparate with each other as they were at times, were both very cool people. I think I get my worldliness and my care for the world and my drive to want to leave some impact behind by my mother. She is a social worker by trade, and a healer, and she takes the world on, her shoulders, whether good or bad. And so those elements of her rubbed off on me as a kid. And inversely, my father, who's, very much a begrudging, antisocial introvert, is also a brilliant artist and in collage and in stained glass and in line drawing. And so I grew up around all of this stuff in its own sort of bottled magic jars, right? And so they explode at times, and those explosions leave permanence on you as this sponge thing, growing, living, becoming, finding our way in the world. And so like a spurious creation, I think, of Austin in its time and the people that I was around and my parents allowing me to explore and be raised the way that I was, all of it is what makes me the way I am.
Amazing. Man, and again, so many thoughts like just drive through my brain as I listen to that. And it's just like, this is not the Texas that the world knows, because we're fed a very specific diet of what, that is in America, specifically Texas. Would not think, I'm not being a dick about it, but based on what the rest of us are fed, you wouldn't think that this is an arts community. This is a drive to what do you say? Build, destroy, build community. This is
absolutely
right.
Yes.
Like that's dope. And it just, I think what it does for me is it solidifies that we are all one people on this planet. I've been all over this planet.
We are all one. Absolutely.
I've never, ever met somebody that has been so different that I'm just like, we can't even talk, because we're all trying to do some stuff. We're all trying to do this thing. We're all trying to live our best lives. We're helping our family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I'll take it one step further. At the very root of it, we're all vibration sine waves, all like high vibrating at frequencies, keeping our cells together in an atomic level. So we are absolutely all one. We're all magic space dust, just somehow floating out here. So yeah, but bringing it back to home and to your point, I think you can always find the associationalism if you look for it, but both parties have to align. And so, if someone's going to snub you, you can try as hard as you want to find common ground, but they have to find it with you. That's common.
Yeah, you got to find the frequency.
Yeah, man.
You could be a semitone. Okay, so
why be a semitone when you could be a polytone?
Oh, shit. Okay, so you're what was the name of that insane place we were at? It was like
Truck Yard.
The Truck Yard.
Yeah.
I love the Truck Yard so much.
I love the Truck Yard too. It's a little pricey, but man, it's a good spot.
Well, it's such a unique, well, for me anyways, experience, but it seemed legit, like backyard barbecue, but bigger. So
don't tell anybody it's actually a franchise, and there's like 7 of them.
Oh man. Oh, so ruined right now. But imagine if you, what's your favorite place in the world? Let me go there. Just a spot you like to be.
The beach.
Any beach?
Particularly ones with palm trees and blue-green water.
All right. Yeah, and again,
I think I'll isolate. I think Vieques, the beaches at Vieques Island off of Puerto Rico, are some of the most majestic waters and beaches, and mountains, all in this little tiny speck. Talking about how we're all connected. This little place is majestic. So probably Vieques, Puerto Rico.
Amazing. Okay, so imagine you're sitting on a beach, Vieques, Puerto Rico. Maybe the tide is lipping at your toes, and the sun is going down. Or if you're a sunrise guy, the sun's coming up. Doesn't matter. There's a palm tree just in view. The salt air, right? Yeah. And you're thinking to yourself, what is the one thing that you wish the world knew?
I think it goes back to sort of the theme of what we were just talking about and what I led with. I want everybody should know all we have is what we leave behind. And so if we could all walk with that front end mindset and know that that's a consideration, I think, we'd see a lot more good in the world.
That's amazing. Your favorite comfort food?
Pizza.
Pineapple on the pizza?
No, never.
Yes.
Canadians.
Hey, now it is a Canadian. it is a Canadian invention for sure.
No poutine on pizza. All right.
Okay, talk to me about poutine.
I actually don't mind poutine in its own self like that. Yeah. I've had these poutine fries that were pretty next level. I don't know how you can explain poutine to people until they experience it. You know?
Yeah, squeaky cheese, gravy, fries.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Don't
leave it
don't
up to Mr. Dargie here to shut that notion down.
Yeah, well, yeah, don't put it on a pizza for sure.
No.
So pineapple.
Well, some people
no.
might like it up there.
Are you deep dish guy, or you like?
I like all pizza, but I do like deep dish. You said comfort food, man.
hey, man, I'm just asking. I'm the guy with the questions. I don't know.
Yeah, but deep dish to me is like true Chicago deep dish.
Yeah.
I think when people think deep dish, they think of pan pizza, and those are two different things.
Yeah, very different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, we're buddies. All right.
What is the thing that you do just for Ian? What's your guilty pleasure?
I guess it's like stay socially connected. Like I've got Reddit and I've got Telegram, Facebook and Instagram, TikTok when I want to, LinkedIn for sure. But I guess those, like when I think about, it's funny that you ask. Last night alone, so my wife had to work till dang near midnight, and so that left me on solo dad duty of a toddler. She's not even 3 yet, and she is 100% controlled chaos in the most lovingly beautiful way. Like she is amazingly chaos, but like Cora will stop, run by and see, Papa, I'm crazy. Am I crazy, Cora? Like, yeah, like we love her. But she also is nonstop and like, man, I, did dinner and we did bath time. And then all of a sudden it's somehow 10:30 and she is not anywhere near ready for bed, even though we've done all the like bedtime things. And it's because the routine's a little off. Ashley's in the back office working. I'm, trying to get done what I can done. And so to answer your question, innovating and design work and spending time on creating something is what Ian does for Ian. And likely that translates to me being somewhat selfless with it because I'm usually designing for someone or doing something to help uncover a problem or I wouldn't say that I'm a fixer, but I'm a connector catalyst. So a lot of what I do is like figuring out who I might know in my network to help solve a problem or connect to people. So that was long-winded. What I do for me is to just stay connected. There you go.
Love it. Are you like one of those I got a guy guys?
Yeah, I definitely am. I got a guy. Hey guy, I got a guy. I got a person for that.
No matter what. Like, like colloquial.
There's a fine line. I mean, I'm not, no, yes, not for everything, but for most things, I've got a person.
Right. You don't have gotta bury somebody in the desert person.
No.
Maybe you do. I don't know. But maybe do not say that on this show.
Thankfully, I do not in any way, shape, or form have a buried person in the desert guy. So sorry. Not that.
Sorry, universe.
Sorry, universe. I'm not burying folks. Anyway.
Who's your favorite musical artist? Or one of them. You don't have to pick your favorite. You could just say this person is like the best.
Stevie Wonder, just because I just saw him play at like however old he is, still just amazingly crushing it on drums and piano at 80 years old or however old.
What?
Stevie Wonder, man. I don't know. It gets the GOAT crown right now.
Love it. Your favorite artist, like visual artist, I guess. Would be the,
Man, I think that evolves. But Basquiat's up there. My friend Bone Idol Inc. is up there. My friend DeBoris Pen Arts is up there. A lot of my favorite artists are artists I know. And,
it's awesome.
Graffiti artists and street artists and muralists and Will Klein, Isaac K. Davies. I could list them out.
Yeah.
I don't have a one.
Talk to me about your hat.
Oh, okay. So this is the design work I did for a company called Canna Crunchers out of North Carolina. They are a hemp company that processes and refines hemp into all forms of concentrate that you could imagine. And so I do a lot of graphic design work. And so I don't draw myself. If you asked who some of my favorite artists are, so my friend Bone Idol Inc. did the line work on this character.
Nice.
And then this is an example of like how you might see a brand kit get exercised on a shoe. So I'll take in the colorways, the elements, and design style, and put it over a thing and create, digital design, creative design, um, graphic design work once I have the artifacts.
Nice. Are you a Netflix guy when you have a moment?
Sure. Yeah, I'm actually like binging the heck out of the Recruit right now.
Oh,
Oh yeah, oh my god! So I'm episode 3, season 2. I started watching it like episode 1, like I think Monday. Like
yeah.
I can't.
And then I saw it was a new season was coming up, and just like I should check this out. And I was like, I binged season 1, and I'm only on season or episode 2. Episode 1 I just finished of season 2.
Okay, you're like 2 episodes behind me, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah. So absolutely loving
so
that
good.
show. Yes, but also I've been like watching the 2nd season of Ancient Apocalypse. Have you watched that?
No.
Oh man, you should check that out. It's like if you had asked me like what's up with Rockwall, and I told you about that alien wall, and you're like, what? So it's all that kind of stuff all over the world. 2nd season is all the Americas, so it's focused on Canada, Mexico, North America. It's crazy. So check that out. That's on Netflix too.
Do you think that we're digitally distracted from? I don't know, like
I'm the wrong one to ask. My answer is no. I am mega connected to a digital imprint. I mean, stick an implant in my brain and connect me more. So I am.
Oh, really?
It is a facet of myself. Yeah, I think okay. So I have a whole AGI product I'm working on. I told you I'm a serial entrepreneur. Which
AGI, is Jesus Christ.
Artificial generative intelligence.
Oh, so, yeah.
Okay. So using that question that you just asked, and like, do I feel like it's distracted? I've kind of created this meta me synopsis where you create personas that are extensions of yourself all the way to granting power of attorney in this product overview. But basically, surrogate
what the hell
would act as an extension of yourself. And so I am a huge proponent in utilizing all of the tools in our tool chest in order to like max out our presence here as much as possible.
Are you a biohacker too, or no?
A bit, yeah. A bit of one, yeah. Like transhumanists is super intriguing to me.
Holy shit, dude! Ian, I had no idea we were going to go here.
I didn't either. That's why I was looking forward to this thing. I'm like, man, where are we? Like, there's so much more to talk about, and it's that's the power of an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy hell. Yeah. Like, it's fascinating. Yeah, you're right.
Thanks,
we have so many tools in the toolbox. I tend to, I think my nature is I love to go back to the roots of stuff and like settle into that. And there's people, yourself, my kids, love to push the boundaries. What's next? What can we do next? Why couldn't we build a like you said, like an entity that could be the power of attorney with actually our best interests at heart? Like when it comes time, and then it's not a thing that somebody else is going to benefit from other than
that's a huge burden. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Oh. But we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. I hope to get there. I've got a whole structure for it. We'll see where this crazy future holds. And then I also want to like open all these quick service graffiti restaurants called XXX Vandal. So Pizza Vandal, Taco Vandal.
What? What does
Burger
that mean?
Vandal. I've got Coffee Vandal. I've got all these things like worked out, right? And so it's each of these connection pieces. Again, we're a giant ecosystem. We're all one, right? We're all connected. But I think that applies to our life as well. And we can look at all of these moments as connected moments that create us. So why am I the way I am? We went back on a history story, but my future is why I am the way I am too. And so I'm always driving towards that future. I'm always architecting the future into the unknown. But one thing I do know is that I've got a chessboard at all times in front of me, and it's always about like, what is the next move? So anticipating different outcomes and scenarios and being able to pivot into those things fluidly, I think really helps define who I am as well. So like, that's what makes me am in the moment. So like, hang on right now, the classic line, chances are some may not hold out. So hang on right now. Those matter as much as what has happened or what's going to happen. And we forget, I think, a lot of the time, Mike, to remember to hang on right now. And like, speaking of right now, I want you to tell me about how you're feeling 45 days away from what's probably one of the biggest moments in your life, right? With this book coming out and your publication, all of this
Oh,
thing that
flipping the
you've been
script
building
on
on.
me.
Yeah, man. I want to know how you're feeling vibrating into this thing that you've been working on. I know that you, as you told me, as we discussed in September, is very monumental for you. So,
Wow. It's not often. I don't think anybody has ever flipped the script on me this way. Ian, thank you.
sure, I want to know.
Yeah, but I had one more question. I had to
Okay,
ask,
well,
and
you ask your question, and we'll wrap with you telling me how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay, so something maybe I felt but didn't know before was you're a bit of a futurist, and I was thinking about Ray Bradbury as you were talking, and how it is that the stuff that he envisioned in the future and then turned into a TV series, movies, and all the rest of it somehow came to be. And as you were talking, I was like, I wonder if that's what that's like. Because I don't know that I'm not a futurist at all. I don't imagine what the next thing is. As soon as I imagine what can happen next, it freaks me out. I'm just like, I don't even know. Could be a thing. But like, he's like, flip phones and universal connection and exploring strange new worlds to, you know what I mean? Like it's
absolutely.
so,
I do. Yeah. 42, man.
I don't know that I've ever, thank you. I don't know that I've ever met a futurist in real life before. So I just want to call that out.
Well, thanks. Yeah. Was that a question?
Maybe, I don't know, more of a statement, and feel free to answer it as you will, or lean into it. But I just,
yes,
I
there
think
you go.
it's
Let's
neat.
stop there. You just said it. Lean into it. So lean in, show up, do work, infinity. This is my mantra that I repeat to myself ad
infinitum.
In infinitum. So, to the Ray Bradburys of the world, so long and thanks for all the fish.
That's Douglas Adams.
Oh, that is Douglas Adams. Sorry.
Right, yeah.
On That's Brave New World is Ray Bradbury. Yeah.
Yeah. He's Star Trek.
Crisscross the author.
Yeah. It's all good. Douglas Adams is like also extraordinary, but in different ways. So I'll jump over and answer your question. That
please, yes.
I don't know.
How are you feeling leading up to this?
I don't know. Cautiously optimistic.
I love that. Okay.
Right. Like I'm just
it's a good place to sit.
Yeah. I know what I did. I know what it's taken to get there. I'd love to share the journey because it's been it's been interesting across all levels. Coming up, like I'm doing a talk coming up called From Idea to Indigo. I don't know if you have Indigo down there, but that's like our bookstore up in Canada.
Oh, no, but okay.
Yeah, it's like Barnes and Noble Indigo chapters. They're all they're going to have the book, and
I love that idea to Indigo. It's kind of like how I said yesterday, in obtuse to this, but from placeholder to platform is what we built with SneakAR. So yeah, I totally relate.
So it's just this thing that just happened, and in some ways, Ian, I'll tell you, it feels like I was just a passenger. Like I was not always in control of what was happening next, even though I was the guy at the keyboard writing the stuff, and I had to go through the edit cycle, which, by the way, is a bear. I asked my editor at one point, shout out to Carrie Gleason. I'm just like, is it normal to hate your book? And she's like, oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. She goes, when you first have an idea to write a book, you love it and you're so in love with it and you'll tell everybody about it. Then you've got to write the book, which is hard, but you still like it because you're doing it. And then it's like pulling teeth, right? Like
I understand that though. Like if I may, you're making a negotiation with the future, right? You're saying, I'm going to do this thing. I don't know exactly how I'm going to get there, but I'm committing to doing this thing. I'm making a negotiation with an outcome. Yeah. So the problem is with that, a good negotiation, people leave kind of grumpy about, right? And so you maybe should kind of like, I can tell you from a music level, like I have to just put an album out of, eventually I get to a stopping point. I have to say, okay, this thing's done. It's mixed. Yeah. It's clean. Everybody else seems to like it. I've got to call it as done, because if not, it's analysis paralysis. It's all these things that you're talking about that you start getting frustrated with. You got to just say, all right, I think the world will appreciate this. Put the baby out there.
You hope so. And I think that's where the idea to Indigo, the translation layer, is that I had been, my what I am in the world is I help companies find shape and share their stories. That's what I do. And I created a methodology that helped people do that rapidly instead of taking $100,000 and 6 months or a year to do. I just know that this is what works. And I did enough talks and shared enough of the vision that people are just like, oh, that's like, it really works. Like it works. And I'm just like, well, I should share it with more people. Then I got scared that if I share it, people are going to take it. And then I had to be like, I don't actually care if people take it, because.
And that's how that's the moment of true success right there, I think, is learning to let go. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, here I am. I mean, it's been a long road to get here. And now that the final edit is done, I've sent it out to people to read. Would you like to have a copy to read? Maybe
I would love to have a signed copy.
I will get you a signed copy. Would you like a digital copy? An advanced reader copy before time?
Read it starting today. Sure.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's good work. And I think it can help people go from here to there. And if you can skip a step or know that the step you just took is the right one, because it's all about authenticity. It's about,
thank you. There you go.
If you're true with your purpose, then it's going to be fine. It's the moments that you stray away from that I think we run into trouble.
And I think that's a global statement. Let's just say to the world that's listening to us right now, I think, going back to what I've said a couple times, leaning in, showing up, doing work for yourself is how we can be the best potential impact to this world that we're leaving behind. So the more we can be our authentic selves and embrace our authenticity. I mean, it doesn't mean go and like hurt others and like step on their square or anything, right? We all need to have social respect. And there are reasons that villages become cities and cities become towns and towns become megapolises, and, everything that's talked about in the Republic, for example. So like cohesion matters, and, I think civility matters, but not losing ourselves to these norms also matters. Be a rebel, right?
Yeah, be a rebel. I feel that you just answered the question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. What advice would you give to these people we call rebels in waiting? The people that are the young Ian Harrisons that are going to go do a SneakAR play, that are going to try to connect a world.
So
yeah. What is that?
Explore, live, break shit, fix it, try again, get out there and be. There it is be. So, oftentimes people say, what's the meaning of life? Why are we here? What is my purpose? I feel so lost. I don't know. And I think going back to A Hitchhiker's Guide, for example, in 42, and the reason that supercomputer tells these, mega brain perfect beings on what the purpose of life is, a number, is to ponder. And literally the purpose of life is to think, and is to explore, and is to expand, and is to embrace infinite possibilities. And if we're doing that, then we're winning every day that we're alive, taking breaths in our lungs.
I fucking love that. Ian Harrison, you, sir, kick ass. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Michael Dargie, you as well, sir. And I've been looking forward to this one amongst most. So this was a good long time coming. I can't wait to see how our paths will continue to expand.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. Hey, if you're an artist, scientist, entrepreneur, or business owner who wants a smooth and proven method to find, shape, and share your story with the world, head on over to brandjitsu.com and order a copy of my book, Brand Jitsu, Move Your Brand from Meh to Memorable. I've been your host, Michael Dargie, and this has been the RebelRebel podcast. It's a podcast for creative rebels and entrepreneurs all over the world. And hey, if you're a rebel or you know a rebel, head on over to the RebelRebelPodcast.com and fill out the guest request form. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time.